Bro.
The other big rig. Well, I don't. Yeah,
That
if it was
thing
a
looks
double trailer.
decimated. That means it's
Yeah.
explosion twice. I'm watching you, Ricky. Where you going?
Is this catching fire now too?
Oh, Lord.
Well, yeah, fluid that's on the ground, debris.
Lord Almighty, say a prayer.
Hopefully, yeah, there you go. There's some water on there before it spreads to the tanks.
There's somebody laid out on the floor, but he's alive. He's moving. Very little information, but so far I had heard that like this truck
This is a sheriff
supposedly
training facility?
crashed into another truck.
Yeah. LAPD? I don't think it's CHP.
Ricky. Trap law. Fires everywhere, man. Everything's up in flames. I do gotta get back on the emojis too. Make some new emojis and shit stuff. Yeah. Make some new emojis. Just popped on for a little bit. I've left this feed up for like hours, I guess. This is in California, yeah, in LA. I'm not exactly sure where. I think it's Los Angeles.
Glenn and Lawrence on the southbound side of the 5 freeway, right at the truck route to the 5 and the 405. You can see that one big rig that's fully involved. We're seeing another big rig here that is badly damaged. So it's possible they collided somewhere here on the truck route. There was a fire that was starting underneath that big rig, but they were able to put the flames out before it could reach the tanks. But this one is going to be creating quite a mess here for the commute. We have one person, presumably the driver of that truck, that's now on fire on the right shoulder, is being looked at by the city fire and the California Highway Patrol. We're hearing that he's in critical condition. They'll have him lifted, put into the back of a rescue ambulance, and on the way to a hospital very shortly here. We'll show you the drive here on the southbound side of the freeway. So if you're making your way down from the Newhall Pass, there's going to be some heavy delays here for quite some time. So you're going to want to find an alternate, maybe jump over to the 210 freeway, Balboa maybe as an option before it sells out here. But again, this is going to be here for quite some time. They're just now putting some water on the fire here. Again, this is on the southbound side of the 5 freeway, just past Roxford, where this is happening. Live in Sky 5, I'm Rich Brickett. I'll send it back to you in Hollywood.
You wanna hear you say? So I wonder if it's just, I guess, one person involved in this?
Not at this time. We've only seen the one person that's being treated here.
That's what I was wondering.
Just on the right shoulder. They are treating him. We don't want to push in because we don't want to show anything that's sensitive here. But he is being looked at, and we did hear over the radio traffic that he is being classified or described as in critical condition. So hopefully they can get him to an area hospital very shortly. And you can see that they're starting to get some water here on this big rig fire.
Yeah. Mamma mia.
Thanks, but
be incredible if it's just one person. What happened to this truck, though? What is this shit?
Like meat to you?
Meat? Oh, maybe, yeah, meat.
That look like truck? Meat?
Ugh.
Rocks?
It does look like rocks, too, though. I don't know. Shit. What's going on? Hey, Tony goes. Oh, yeah, man. That's true how fragile life can be. Anything could happen. Anytime, any moment. The blink of an eye. Gone. Lyseek, thank you so much since I'm watching your live stream. And one here in the Netherlands. Really? They're taking the stones out of the street to use as a barricade and throw. There's the guy that's in critical condition. I saw him moving earlier, so yeah, he's moving. He's moving. He's about to get up. I want to know what happened.
Huh. Critical condition, but sitting up.
About to like shake it off and walk it off. Damn.
Well, this guy looks like he got out.
What in the
I'm
hell?
thinking that big rig was parked there. Probably slammed into the back of it.
Mustard. Man, I really missed out not covering that Mika story. I might have to look into it and see. I see a lot of people talking about it. Not today, but I might dig a little bit. I don't know if it's over kind of already, but I see a lot of people still talking about it. Mika Miller.
Yes.
Homeboy needs a joint right after all that crap. It's like about having a bad day. Jeez. Smelling salts. Any of you guys ever tried smelling salts? I was kind of scrolling. I saw Joe Rogan, Joey Diaz. I saw that episode. Wow. I guess he was. I wonder if he was the driver. I guess I don't know. I got a stretcher now. What the hell is going on? Oh, by the way, I thought about doing a video, but it's not. I don't think it's enough. I could show it. Apparently, there's these guys that do stings and they catch these people trying to meet up with kids. And so live streamers Vitaly and Martin, apparently they caught this guy in Hollywood, a Hollywood screenwriter, Herschel Weinrod. And he was busted in a teen meetup sting. He's a renowned Hollywood screenwriter known for his work in the 1996 film Space Jam. Was recently caught in a sting operation by live streamers. Wow. He was trying to meet up allegedly with a 15-year-old, and he's 76. I'm going to show you that video in a second. Wow. Man almighty. Lord almighty. We're going to check this out in a second. Access to this. Okay. Name. They're taking him away. He's moving around. Hopefully he makes it okay. Looks pretty beat up. Jeez. He is moving around, thankfully. Andy, thank you so much for the 5. Cinco de Mayo. Who's over there? It's Maddie. Hi, Maddie. Playing with the dog. I guess that's it. There's like this chopper feed. Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. Yeah? What? Yeah, I'm streaming. There he goes. He lost a leg? What? No. Wow, incredible. I don't know what that is after that. That thing's still on fire? You put all that shit on it? Wow. What is that? Is that a tire? It cuts in and out like that. Bola! Oh, you're right. That's the whole reason why I have a door, right? I should have closed that shit. Time to lock the door. T-Bag, what's up, man? I hope you're doing good. New profile picture. Well, hopefully that's the only person and there's not somebody that's inside this other thing here that disintegrated with whatever this is. I don't know what this is. Meat? Rocks? Wow. I don't know. I wonder, is that meat? I think it's meat. I don't know. Barbecue time. What a mess. By the way, tomorrow on the main page we'll be streaming at 1 p.m. Eastern. Adam Montgomery, child killer, killed his own daughter. He's finally getting sentenced. He was already found guilty. He didn't show up for the whole trial. He didn't want to be seen. And he submitted a request to please, I don't want to go to the sentencing. Sentence me, but I don't want to be there. And his request was denied. So they're forcing him to show up. Where they got to drag his ass, tie him up, hog tie his ass, and pull him out of the cell and bring him over. They're going to bring his ass for sentencing. And I want to see if he still has that smug smile that he tends to have sometimes. Child killer. Just wanted to be plastered everywhere. So tomorrow, 1 p.m. One of the articles I read said it could take a few hours. So we'll see. Plus, there'll be impact statements. I think it's going to be interesting. Probably emotional too at some point. I don't know. Lost the audio for the helicopter for some reason. I really like this Opera browser. I wonder if I'll switch and make it my main thing. My main browser. Ooh. Just call me April. Hey, says hi, Ickmel. You always get the action. Like Hannibal Lecter. I wonder if they could eat the meat straight out of the truck like that. If it's all birthing, cooked up. All right, let's take a look at this clip. It's about 3 minutes long. I guess that was the only person that was hurt, is the person they took away for this truck thing. Hopefully, like I'm saying, hopefully there wasn't somebody inside that got burnt or whatever. I guess we'll find out whenever they update it. Check this out.
What's your name?
Oh, fuck.
What's your name?
Who are you?
What's your name?
Who are you?
Why are you suing my fucking daughter? What's your name? What is your name?
Boris. My name is Boris.
Boris, what's your name? Shake my hand.
What's the problem?
Why are you suing my daughter? You know how old she is?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
No.
The fuck you thought was gonna happen here?
Nothing. We're gonna have a pizza. I don't know.
Pizza? Yeah, you don't know? How old is she?
Brad.
You know how old she is?
I matched with her. She was 23.
23. Is that what the conversation looked like?
You remember the text messages? She was 23 on a
23.
dating site.
On a dating site?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was 23 on
How old is she?
site. I have no idea.
Lila, how old are you?
I'm sorry. She was 23 on a dating site. All we've done is
So
talk.
she didn't tell you how old she was?
She did.
She did?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She said she was 15.
How did she tell you how old she actually is?
She said she's 15.
She said she's 15. Why are you here? Why are you sitting here?
I'm just having a
With a fucking 15-year-old?
pizza.
Piece of pizza with a fucking 15-year-old.
It's not against
You think
the
that's
law.
okay?
I think it's not against the law.
It's not against the law?
No.
Is that all you spoke about to her?
We've just been talking.
Really?
Yeah, we've been talking and flirting. It's not a big deal.
Where are you going?
I ordered a pizza. I'm going to go.
Okay, have a seat. Have a seat.
Why?
I'll sit with you. I'll eat pizza with you. We're just having pizza, right? Sit right here.
Sorry.
Sit right here. Where? I don't know. Whoa, excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
You said you wanted a kiss, touch, and lick, whatever?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's just weird. I don't understand what people
So you're a
say.
pedophile trying to meet a 15-year-old. Oh shit! I'm sorry, it's not a boy, it's a girl.
Whoa.
Yeah, you are.
Wait.
We need to hear audio. We need to hear audio.
Look at this guy. Look. Clown. All right, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
What do you do when it's like?
We can't grab him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't grab him.
Nope.
You can't do that.
Let him go. Let him go. Just hold it. Vitaly,
What do you guys want to do?
You try to meet a 15-year-old.
Trying to meet a 15-year-old.
Okay, so what do you guys want to do in this case?
In this case.
Filming, or you try to arrest him, or
Yeah, the cops are on the way.
police?
Well, just let everybody know in your building at $1,000 Windsor, there's a pedophile that lives here.
Yeah, well, you guys have it in camera and everything, right?
Okay.
I guess if you guys come daytime, then the office, they will have to get any information to
By the way, I think Ryan Garcia has an episode with one of these guys too. I don't know if it's been dropped yet. And Little Pump did an episode recently as well, but they really got this guy like crazy, bro. So this is what they did. Let me show you this. They spray painted this guy's head.
I'm a sick fuck. I'm a sick fuck. I like the quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck. You're a sick fuck, huh? You're a sick fuck, huh? I get you that nip tuck. How you start a family? The condom slipped up. I'm a sick fuck. I'm inappropriate. I like hearing stories. I like that whole shit. Give more shit. I like that whole shit. Send me some more shit, you trapping hoe, bitch. You're such a fucking hoe. I hate it. You're such a fucking pedo. I hate it. Fuck, nigga.
Wow. Holy moly. That was a recent video. Lil Pump. Wow, they really got him. Vitaly. Well, Kitty. Yeah, I saw what he... That was really messed up what he did to that woman in Miami. I think he was high on shrooms. And he randomly attacked this... Like, beat the shit out of this lady. And he got arrested. It was really fucked up. Here's some more clips.
Niño de 15
around the
años.
cap.
Yo te la meto aquí en el culo. Te la meto en el culo, mira. Mira, Peremundo. Peremundo. ¿Por qué estás aquí para ver a un niño de 15 años? ¿Qué te pasa? Malparihueputa. Malparihueputa.
Do you know that your actions have consequences?
¿Qué pasa? Que tú sabes que un niño de 15
This is wild, yeah. Wild.
La policía.
Do you scout at kindergarten?
Or what's another option? You know,
I want you to see his phone.
dame tu teléfono.
¿Pero para qué lo quieres?
For 1 second, give me your phone.
Por un segundo
Give me
ya.
your phone for a second.
Por un segundo.
Give me your phone 1 second.
Okay.
There's no call. Oh, let me see the evidence.
Any normal adult would have said to an underage kid, hey, you're wrong, get away from
Mal no. Malparihueputa.
No, yo hablando con ella, no con usted.
Nah.
Fuck your phone.
You're a
your
fucking
phone. You can't
pedo.
text pedophiles no more.
That's it. No more kids. Ya no puedo tocar niños más.
Oh shit. The boy's getting put on blast.
You ready for this part?
Yeah, we're rounding it up,
You're
bro.
such
They made him sign a paper. Oh, this was crazy. Is this the boxing thing? Oh no.
eat my ass.
Understand me or not? How old? Fucking God. Yo.
Come here.
Hold on. Step down. Come here. Fucking just because you think you're taller than me. Listen to me, motherfucker. I'm gonna talk to you differently. You understand me or not? How old are you?
I do understand.
How old are you?
I do understand.
How old are you, motherfucker? Before I swear to fucking God, it's gonna be your fucking last day here. I swear, I'm fucking sick of you. All the same story. It's not me. It's Photoshop. Stop fucking lying to me, motherfucker. I swear to God, I'm gonna lose everything. You right now. You right.
Ugh, that was wild, dude. What's going on over there on Kick? That's on the Kick platform. Yeah, I wonder if they released that Ryan Garcia thing yet. Day one, guest locked in, Lil Pump. Oh, he's got a lot of backing though too. Vitaly. Oh, they couldn't get Ryan. They were supposed to get Ryan Garcia. I guess I don't know what happened. Maybe he backed out. Or something came up. That's weird because I don't even hear this thing. It's tough. You guys hear the chopper sound? I don't hear nothing. Is it? My audio thing is showing there's audio, but I don't hear it. Damn, man, they gotta go through all this meat truck. Thousands of pounds of meat. Chat while defending predators. Adidas logo. The so-called daughter is just a decoy. She's an adult. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Explaining, but that's not an actual minor. What they usually do is they'll get somebody, I guess, to pretend to be a minor, and they'll like reach out to these people and try to lure them, I guess. Interesting. You hear the chopper? I don't hear it. Oh. I don't want to touch buttons, but.
Pressing charges, I think.
I found this interesting thing on Twitter too, where they said that the whole Kendrick Lamar and Drake thing, that he supposedly had hit or beat Whitney. Somebody posted a video of like a witness to that whole situation. I was like, oh shit. Uh-oh. Wild ass accident. I don't know why I can't hear the audio. I went to pull on something over here and then all of a sudden I lost it, I guess, the audio. Helicopter. I don't know if there's any fatalities. There was one person, they showed the body, but he wasn't critical. He was critical and he seemed to be moving. He even sat up at one point, so they took him away. I haven't heard or seen anything else. Wish I could hear what you guys are hearing. Oh, I don't hear that. For some reason, there's no audio on that one for me. What? What did I do? Opera. Let me try this. Don't you tell me why. You don't hear nothing? Okay. Yeah, because I don't hear nothing either. Oh yeah, the buzzing sound you hear. Yeah, I don't even hear the buzzing sound for some reason. I touched something. I might have to restart the computer. I touched something and then you guys can hear it, but I can't hear it. I cannot believe how this thing is like become nothing but like dust or whatever this is. How do I do this? He's talking, I can't hear it. Or maybe not. Yeah, I screwed up something with the settings. I don't know what I did. Dang it!
One minute away.
Well, the pasta. The pasta. Man details freak accident in Tulum that left partner paralyzed.
Mexico is so close to the U.S., and you think it's close, it's safe, it's fun. One little incident happens and your whole life is upside down and you can't get help.
Justin Rayford and his boyfriend of almost 3 years, Jared Hill, are dealing with the aftermath of a nightmare scenario they endured while on vacation in Mexico a few weeks ago.
It was my birthday. We, decided to go to Tulum. So, it's absolutely beautiful there.
Upon arriving, the Texas couple decided to go to the beach.
He was like, let's go jump around in the ocean and play around the ocean. And we were just jumping around in waves. And, it was having fun. I was tired and was like, I want to go lay back in the cabana. And I actually started to walk away. I heard a voice inside of me say,
still putting water on this big rig fire that started about 30 minutes
and
ago.
I turned around and saw a bigger wave come and get him.
Just transported to a local hospital with critical burn.
In the ocean.
So
and then I saw him not come up. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Sitting up at least momentarily, but he
Jared
was on his way to an area
injured.
hospital. You can see
was
the condition
under the water
of the
because
big
he was
rig.
fully
It's a total loss,
paralyzed, and I had to pull him up
with meat.
And
so it's going to take us some time to clean this up. They also have an hazmat spill here with the fuel and the oil.
Pick him up and carry him back to the
on the
beach.
southbound side of the
help.
5 freeway, right on the truck route. And there was another
manager
big
of the
rig
beach
here.
club came over and I was like, we need an ambulance. I think he broke his neck.
By the other big
Some
rig,
American
rolled over, caught fire.
doctor
now,
ran over and was like, I'm a doctor, can I help? The manager actually told him to go away.
8 hours
manager
to clear
says,
this off of the truck route.
we called an ambulance.
Also going to
and I was
affect
like, okay,
the main
great.
lines
So then
here.
it was just
You see they're
focusing
funneling
on Jared because
onto the
he is
HOV and the
screaming
fast
bloody
lane.
murder.
For now, it's a large backup as you
just
make your way
kept
down
ticking
from
and
the
ticking
Newhall
and
Pass.
ticking. And I was
The
like, what is
southbound
going
side
on?
also
Then I
started to-
noticed
you hear though?
staff members
Blade
started
as far
coming
back-
around, and
I can't hear the other
the
thing.
manager had the staff members stand in front of Jared, blocking him from the view of the other people at the beach club. And I was like, this is kind of weird. Probably 45 minutes had passed, and I was like, something is not right. So I asked one of the people blocking Jared, I said, can you please call an ambulance? And he pulled his phone out, and the manager told him no. And so he put his phone away. So I was like, something is up.
Justin went to the cabana to grab his phone.
So I WhatsApped our concierge and I said, hey, there's been a terrible accident. Jared's in a lot of trouble. I need an ambulance, and I don't think this place is calling them. So he was like, let me see if I can help. He calls the GM, finds out they have not called help. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it. And then he deleted the WhatsApp message that he had told me this. And I was like, okay, something is going on. I do not feel comfortable at all.
Justin called Red Cross.
I just told Jared, help is coming, help is coming. It was over 3 hours. And the hospital is 4.5 miles away. With, the person I love most in the world screaming in pain, scared for their life. And I get out of the ambulance and I'm like, okay, what are we doing? And there's all these people standing outside and nobody's taking Jared out of the ambulance. Some doctor came out and said, we won't take him out of the ambulance unless you pay us $5,000.
Wow.
Justin felt he had no choice to pay the money to get the CT scan.
His neck is just shattered. He broke his C1, his C5, 6, 7, and his spinal cord was bent like an S, and there was pieces of his vertebrae sticking into his spinal cord, and they were just like, this is really bad, we can't help you.
The pair went to another hospital.
The bumpiest ambulance ride with a broken neck it took over an hour and a half to get there. They do an MRI on him that took 2 hours. And, I'm just pacing back and forth.
A neurosurgeon told him Jared needed surgery. Justin says doctors still did nothing for over 24 hours.
I am running around this 3-story hospital to the admissions department, to the billing department, to finding nurses to get him more pain medication, and getting different stories from every single department of what is going on and what's happening. They had pushed off the surgery over and over again and made up all these excuses. It's what can I do? I said, you have everything you're supposed to have. And the neurosurgeon said he could die if we don't do this surgery. And he literally looked at me and he's like, I'm so sorry, there's nothing I can do. And I said, what do you mean? And he picked up his phone and showed me a message from the hospital director saying, I'm going to keep canceling the surgery, get money out of them. They literally just wanted cash to grease the wheel to have the surgery.
Wow.
And this is at a hospital where people are supposed to care about people's well-being in life. They wanted $20,000, so of course I paid.
They still couldn't get surgery.
I don't know what to do. This hospital is giving me the runaround. They wanted a ransom payment. I gave them the ransom payment. They said the surgery was happening. They canceled it.
He pleaded with the neurosurgeon who finally did the procedure.
The surgeon just said, like, I did the best that I can, and I think I did good, but it's not perfect. And that he was hemorrhaging really bad at the top of his neck where your head is, and so they didn't get to fix 2 of his vertebrae. They just had to close them up. They had to do a 360 surgery on him. So they actually had to cut him in the front of his throat first, put his vocal cords over, and pull out the broken fragments from his neck to safely roll him over and then cut him down the back.
The condition of the hospital bothered Justin.
They don't wear gloves. They don't wash their hands. They don't wear protective PPE. I literally had to beg the people in there to not touch him with bare hands in the ICU. And trying to explain to them that he has a spinal cord injury and an incision next to his brain. Like, he cannot have bare hands. And I was like, what ICU, sort of ICU is this? This is not a safe zone at all.
After several days, Jared was flown to Houston, Texas.
They were ready for us. There were 3 nurses in there to do a full body assessment, clean him up, take all his vitals, start him on fluids. There was a neurosurgeon in the room within 10 minutes to check him out. They ran tests on him till 3:30 in the morning. So chaotic and exhausting, but it's what saved his life. And it was so wonderful to be back here and feel like you were in good hands. They see he has a spinal cord leak. He still has 2 broken bones in his neck that weren't fixed.
And I don't even know, how did he even get injured? I guess I missed that. He was on a vacation, nightmare scenario. While swimming, a wave hit Jared wrong and left him paralyzed. Wow. Damn. A wave? Okay.
And they're like, he has to go into surgery right away. This is life threatening.
Jared's condition worsened.
And the next thing I know,
it looks like Miami. This is where they ended up going to. Yeah, man. I prefer healthcare. I mean, they didn't have a choice, right? They're out of the country, but all day, every day, and even healthcare here is messed up. There's a few. There's one hospital within the area that I is my go-to. I mean, there's some other ones that are decent, but there's other ones that, like, in the past I've said you go there to die. Like some other places, like they're just, I don't know, they don't take good care of you. You can tell when you go somewhere they're taking good care of you. Other places that really don't care. But then in these countries, man, not all of them, of course, but in these countries, man, it's the healthcare. That's not the free healthcare over there. I don't know if they got free healthcare over there, but jeez, they did them so dirty.
Surgery for that day was canceled, and we couldn't find out why. So one of the doctors pulls me outside of the room and says he has PE. He has pulmonary embolism. And they said it's blood clots in his lungs. And it was because in the Mexican hospital, they just kept him drugged so he never moved at all, and nobody moved him.
Wow.
Then more bad news.
The head of infectious diseases came in and let us know that he also had meningitis from not being in sanitary or disinfected areas. And again, they said this is super critical because you have a spinal fluid leak. It's next to your brain, and this could kill you. So he was on like 6 different IVs, literally 6 at all times, that he had to be on a blood thinner for the blood clots, 4 different antibiotics. And again, he still couldn't really move. They couldn't fix his spinal cord because they couldn't risk cutting it open because of meningitis.
For days, doctors worked to stabilize him for surgery.
When they cut him open, they discovered that not only were the titanium pieces that they put in Mexico the wrong sizes, they were in the wrong places. So they had to remove everything out, put in all new hardware, and then fuse his C1 and C2, put a plate in the back of his head. They also discovered a cut in his dura of his spinal cord, like a surgical cut. That was, they assume, a mistake made by one of the two surgeons in there, and that's why so much fluid was leaking out.
After a nightmarish few weeks, Jared is finally healing.
Jared is such an amazing man. I love him so much. He's the most positive, sweet, kind person I've ever met. He stayed so positive and in control.
I turned off the comment section. That's a lot of dislikes too. I just realized that 14,000 likes, 9.4 thousand dislikes. And speaking of ratio, maybe check out Drake. Drake! I want to see the ratio again on the video. Has it gotten worse? Better? Damn, bro. Oh my gosh. 1.1 million dislikes. 667,000 likes. Mamma mia. Can you, yeah, that's a good question, Rosewood. I don't know. Rosewood said, can you sue hospitals outside of the U.S.? Maybe it depends on their system. And if you can go through their system, if they even have a system.
My goal was to have this man executed for slaughtering these 3 little boys.
Yeah, this guy's sick as fuck. This guy that killed those 3 kids. I gotta check to see what we missed. He did. It was like, I think like months ago. He had like a hearing. We were supposed to watch it, but we were caught up. I forgot we were caught up in something. And he's trying to like get out of this shit, even though he admitted what he did. Like I think in an interview, I thought he's trying to get it thrown out.
My goal was to have
maybe the dislikes were about the hospital. Yeah.
This man executed for slaughtering these 3 little boys.
That was the prosecutor in Chad Dorman's case last year. But now Dorman says he shouldn't face the possibility of the death penalty as a punishment. I'll tell you why and what it means for his trial.
It's wild to me that somebody can kill his own kids, murder them in cold blood, but then I don't want to face the death penalty. I don't want to die, but you had no problem killing these kids.
Was supposed to take place this summer. I have 3 new developments in Chad Dorman's case. Thanks for joining me for Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. There's a new twist in Chad Dorman's case in Ohio. His attorneys have filed a motion asking that the death penalty be removed as a possible punishment in his trial. Prosecutors are pursuing the death penalty against Dorman, who's charged with the premeditated murder.
Well, State says his confession was thrown out. Wow. That's crazy. But why was it thrown out?
Of his 3 little boys, Clayton, Hunter, and Chase, in June of 2023. Those boys were just 7, 4, and 3 years old. I've told you before about the horrific, unthinkable crime. Dorman's accused of pulling a rifle from his gun safe and hunting each one of those little boys down one by one and shooting them. The boy's mother called 911 as she tried to save them and even suffered a gunshot wound to the hand trying to stop Dorman. The boy's older stepsister also tried to save the boys, even running toward a fire station with one of them in her arms.
My daughter, she ran over to the fire department.
Sit down.
It's my stepdaughter.
Put him in the cage.
Dorman is accused of chasing after that girl and ordering her at gunpoint to put one of the boys down and then shooting him. And while I say Dorman is accused of these things, he's definitely accused of killing the boys. He hasn't been convicted of the crime, but he is also now admitting that he killed his sons, but says he was insane at the time he committed the murders, which is a separate matter from him arguing that he's too mentally ill to be put to death if he is convicted. In his motion to remove the death penalty from his case, Dorman's attorneys wrote, Mr. Dorman acknowledges that if the court finds that he is statutorily ineligible for a death sentence due to serious mental illness or SMI, and the jury convicts him of aggravated murder and one or more aggravating circumstance.
Theo says he asked for an attorney and law enforcement continued to question him. Oh, no. Miss PJ, hey, how you doing? Oh, man. In a hearing on the issue, Detective Michael Ross said Dorman was advised and understood his Miranda rights before answering questions. However, Ross admitted he did not read those rights word for word, neglecting to say Dorman had the right to have a lawyer present for questioning. Oh, my God. 45 minutes into the interview, Dorman asked, "Where's a lawyer?" Ross replied, "Laura?" Fernance said in his ruling, and the statements made during this custodial interview will all be suppressed.
The court will sentence him to life imprisonment without parole. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is a serious mental illness, or SMI, under Ohio law? What is it that could have been going on with Chad Dorman's mental health at the time? What was happening in his mind that would allow him or prompt him to hunt down his sons like that? Well, it lists 4, the law does. They are schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, bipolar disorder, and delusional disorder. Exactly which one of these illnesses Chad Dorman claims to have or have had or has remains unclear. We should learn more about that when his lawyers file additional documents with the court. And really, this serious mental illness statute is relatively new in Ohio. It's just 3 years old. Judge Farron called this uncharted territory and explained how he'll determine whether Chad Dorman was indeed suffering from a serious mental illness at the time that he shot and killed his sons.
While the statute labels this as a pretrial hearing, it's really a much more complex and detailed hearing. And as I call it, it's not a pretrial hearing, it's a pretrial trial, simply limited to whether the death penalty can be eliminated or can be maintained based upon the statutory conditions there.
So there's going to be a mini trial of sorts in August. Experts from both sides will testify about their examination of Chad Dorman and his mental state at the time that Clayton, Hunter, and Chase were killed. Now, this is a question of whether the death penalty is a punishment that Chad Dorman should face. Should the jury actually be allowed to consider the death penalty as a punishment? Again, this is a separate issue from whether Chad Dorman is not guilty by reason of insanity or mental disease or defect. He changed his plea to not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect or insanity, meaning he's claiming he didn't know what he was doing was wrong at the time that he did it. He's admitting he killed his sons, but saying he was so mentally ill at the time, he didn't know what he was doing was wrong. We'll have more on that and what Dorman said that day later in the show. But first, there was some interesting information in the court documents about what doctors who evaluated Chad Dorman found.
His neck is just like shattered.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Dorman claims that Dr. Bob Stinson, a board-certified forensic psychologist, examined him and found that he had a severe mental disease at the time of the alleged commission of the offenses that caused him to not appreciate the wrongfulness of his actions and met the requirements for NGRI or not guilty by reason of insanity. The defense says Dr. Stinson is expected to file a companion report saying that Dorman suffered from a serious mental illness at the time of the murders. The defense also mentions, though, that another professional, Dr. Emily Davis, found that Mr. Dorman had a severe mental disease at the time of the alleged offenses, but differed with Dr. Stinson regarding Mr. Dorman's appreciation of the wrongfulness of his actions. And that document was actually filed under seal. Now, because this is going to happen, this mini trial of sorts about Chad Dorman's mental state at the time that the boys were killed, his trial is not going to begin in July as anticipated, and he's waived his right to a speedy trial. The judge actually questioned Dorman about this.
And just briefly, Mr. Dorman, I know that Mr. Myers and Mr. Haynes have been representing you, but they've discussed these matters with you, in particular the waiver of your speedy trial rights, as Mr. Myers has just stated.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're in full agreement with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And understandably, this is upsetting to the surviving victims. That would be Clayton, Chase, and Hunter's mother, stepsister, and other family members. They want this to move forward as quickly as possible.
Based on Marcy's law, we've spoken with the surviving victims. They want to, obviously, they understand that this is a long process, but they do want to have this wrapped up as soon as possible. so that they can begin to close this chapter of their lives and move on from the court process.
Joining me to discuss this latest set of developments in Chad Dorman's case is someone who's been following it very closely. He's Josh Ritter. He's a former prosecutor.
Crazy. You guys want to watch one more thing with me here? I saw this just kind of came up while I was scrolling down. I'm gonna get a little drink here, but this situation about a mother who, let's see, murdered her 4-year-old child. She was charged with first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and tampering with a witness. Let's check this out. Let's see what's going on here.
I am going to tell you a sad story, a very sad story, about a 4-year-old little boy, and a sad ending to a very sad story. He was born in Haiti to a mother who didn't want him.
Oh boy.
And so he was adopted in Haiti by this lady whose sister was in the United States. It took 3 years for the adoption process to go through, and ultimately the 4-year-old end up here in the United States. It's called the Biden program, and supposedly it's a sped up adoption. So the child's born to a mother who doesn't want it. We have no idea who that mother is. The sister of our suspect is in the process of getting the child for her sister, who is Patricia St. Azaire. Patricia's 36 years of age. She's already got a 16-year-old son that she has adopted from Haiti. The 4-year-old comes here as a 3-year-old only a year ago. And what we've learned during this investigation just turns our stomach. We have a video clip of where that 3-year-old baby's hands was tied behind his back, and she threw him in a swimming pool in the backyard. We received on May 1st a call. May 1st, the child went to the hospital. So why did the child go to the hospital? Heart of Florida and Haines City, but they live in Davenport. The little fella got off of the bus. He was happy. Everything seemed to be all right. The 16-year-old noticed he was happy. They were home. Patricia, the 16-year-old, and now the little dead fella who's 4. The 16-year-old notices later on that he's lethargic, that he's not responding. Patricia says he's faking it. Give him something to eat. He can't eat. He goes unconscious. The 16-year-old has been saying he needs to go to the hospital. He needs to go to the hospital. He needs to go to the hospital. Heart of Florida thinks he has a significant issue, sends him to Orlando Health. Orlando Health tries to work with him, and ultimately he dies. He goes to the medical examiner's office, and that's when we get involved a couple of days later. We find injuries where this child has been beaten. In addition to the video we found in the investigation of his hands tied behind him and thrown into the pool. We found an injury where his spleen suffered a significant tear. The medical examiner said it could have been nothing else other than an immediate hard strike to the abdomen.
Wow.
And as the autopsy went on, they found different layers of bruises and injuries from past beatings. And he's dead. He's dead because she beat him to death. We don't know, obviously, how he got out of the pool after he was thrown in there with his hands tied behind his back. We have a video of that. We're going to show it to you at the end of this news release. She's charged with murder, aggravated child abuse. The investigation's still underway. Her husband was clearly at work at the time this event occurred. She was the disciplinarian. He was a student at Laufman Oaks, and despite his abusive treatment, they said he was a happy child. And this never should have happened. Ladies and gentlemen, it is beyond my wildest imagination how anyone could abuse a beautiful little fella like this child was abused and neglected. But the investigation is still ongoing. We don't believe we know all that this child suffered. We have another video clip where he's face down on the floor and she's beating him in the back. And he's not even resisting it. It's just like it's a normal occurrence. You know, the positive, if you search for a positive, is that he's in the arms of God right now, and he's no longer being beaten. He's no longer being punched. He's no longer being tied up and thrown in the swimming pool. That now he's, as our Christian belief, that he's living the life there where he's surrounded by love and things are great, like he should have been surrounded by love and things should have been great here on earth for him. So every day when you see these little guys and gals that are on their way to school, understand that there's a small percentage of them that are being neglected and abused, and we need to know about that immediately. And when you go home tonight, hug your children a little tighter. Give them an extra kiss when you put them to bed. And thank God that you have those children, and they are miracles, and that you have the opportunity to show them the right way, to raise them the right way, to teach them the right way, and then understand that we need to say prayers for these children that we have yet discovered. It would have been great if we could have found this child and rescued him before he was beaten to death. The 16-year-old is in protective custody at this time. He is obviously no longer at the home. Are there any questions?
Are there any other DCF calls or anything to this house or anything to make you guys?
That's still under investigation. I don't know if there were other DCF calls there or not, but our team, our homicide team, is simply the very best. These cases are difficult to work. Our victims deceased, we've got to work on timelines and time frames of injuries and types of injuries. And this was a very complicated case for them to work, and they're still gathering details and evidence.
School sheriff, when your investigators spoke with school officials, had they seen any warning signs? Was that on their radar at all?
I don't know if we've had a chance to circle around with the school officials yet to see if they've seen or heard anything, because we have been intensely investigating the instant event. That will be on part of the investigative protocol. But as you know, we release information as soon as it's reasonable so that you know what we know. And some of that investigation happens in the later stages of the investigation.
These videos, were they on the suspect's phone or who?
They were on the suspect's phone.
And the 16-year-old, was the 16-year-old abused or also a victim?
At this point in time, he looks fine. He was coached to lie to us when we first talked to him. After we got Patricia in jail and away from him, He then told us, hey, I was told to lie to you, so that will be part of the subsequent investigation, but there's no obvious instant injuries, but certainly that will be part of the follow-up investigation.
Do you think that Patricia could be facing more charges than the ones that are listed here?
Well, we've loaded her up with all of the charges that we know about right now, but certainly depending on what the rest of the investigation tells us, that you can be sure that my detectives will file every criminal charge possible, depending on where the rest of the investigation leads us.
So was her husband never around when this abuse took place?
Apparently not. You know, once again, those are the layers of the onion. We're not completely through yet, but at least when this injury that caused the death occurred, based upon the severeness of the injury and how bad that the child would have regressed from the injury, he was clearly not there. Now, follow-up investigation will help determine what he knew, when he knew it, if he knew it. But if you can believe this, they've lawyered up. So when you lawyer up because we're investigating injuries to your child and you won't cooperate with us, that's a clue.
Sheriff, did she express remorse or explain her behavior to you?
Oh no, she didn't.
Sheriff, is there any more you can tell us about her personal or professional life? There's something on social media that could indicate she maybe worked in childcare?
No, she worked for ABC Liquors in the corporate office, I'm told, over in Orlando. She lived in Davenport.
Do you know how long she lived in the States?
I don't know. But it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. But I can assure you of this, that if you hear something or see something or believe something or think something about a child being neglected or abused, if you call us, I can assure you that we'll completely and thoroughly investigate it with DCF. Because our number one goal in this organization is to protect the children. And that's why we go after child predators. That's why we go after pornographers. That's why we go after child abusers. And we certainly go after child murderers. Okay?
Alrighty. Holy crap. All right, I guess I'm gonna hop off for now. I have one notification on this channel left. We'll see if we get a chase. We haven't had a nice chase in a while, I don't think. But again, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on the main page. This piece of ish is finally getting sentenced, a child murderer. It's about time. I hope they give him life, because he doesn't deserve anything less than that. Deserves death, really, but I don't think that's not on the table. So tomorrow, big day for the Harmony Montgomery case. Maybe finally closing that chapter, I guess. 1 p.m. Eastern. Abby says, can you repeat what happened for those joining? Oh, I didn't know somebody was arrested. Did you see someone arrested at Drake's house? I didn't know. I know that the house got shot. The house got shot at. I didn't know they arrested somebody. Let me see. I don't see anything about arrest yet. $1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Yeah, Justice for Harmony. Cover that trial. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, man, it would be nice if there was a chase. Yeah, this another crappy person killed their child, but apparently this person had tied up the child's hand and threw them in the pool. And I guess they saw injuries on the child that this child had been being abused for quite some time. So yeah, I haven't seen any arrest either. Mel's procrastinating unpacking. Yeah, I gotta do some more of that. It's actually not coming along too bad. I'm really looking forward to the living room couch coming in. I think that's gonna be on Monday. It's supposed to come. So we can chill out there when I want to. Right now it's kind of full of boxes. I gotta get the plant situated too. Okay, thank you, Stace. Let's see what this is. Stace sent me something here. Let's see. Drake's Toronto home visited by alleged attempted trespasser intercepted. Stopped at gate by security. Drake had another security scare. Another one? I think it's because of the whole Kendrick stuff. The people that take things to a whole nother level. I'm not saying Kendrick sent people, even though he literally put the guy's house on a thumbnail that has millions and millions and millions of views. But I just think it's these crazed fans that take things to a whole nother level. Let's see. So somebody stopped by the house. Only this one was stopped dead in its tracks before things could get ugly. And now the man is in police custody. Sources with direct knowledge confirmed to TMZ cops were called to Drake's mansion Wednesday in the Brittle Path neighborhood, where his home was subjected to a drive-by shooting just yesterday. Now we're told they arrived to deal with a would-be intruder. Our sources tell us a man attempted to gain access to Drake's crib, but we're told he was immediately intercepted at the front gate by security and didn't get onto the actual grounds. We're told he was held and detained until officers could arrive, at which point he was turned into the police. Toronto PD tells us the alleged attempted trespasser was apprehended under the Mental Health Act. What the? Bro, this is the thing. These people start putting stuff out there online. You don't know who's sitting in their basement, in their room. Like you just don't know how, like, maybe you, me, and we're here chilling, talk about something. And somebody else is really like, you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to take matters into my own hands. According to Canada's Global News reporter Tracy Tong, the man apparently said he was here to see Drake. Bruh. She also says there was a scuffle with security guards. By the way, our sources tell us that security presence around Drake's property has increased generally, so more hands on deck. Yeah, you got to put more people there. As we reported, this marks the second incident at Drake's house in 24 hours. Remember, one of his security guards was shot early Tuesday morning after an incident. After an identified suspect drove by and fired off rounds at the premises, which seriously wounded the guard. His condition was reported as serious, and we know he was hospitalized as a result. No word on whether Drake was home for either run-in. But we know he's been in Toronto, of course. All this activity comes on the heels of his widely publicized beef with Kendrick Lamar. Shame on you, Kendrick! Anyway. Crazy. Yeah, definitely beef up security, because these people out there are just... Sexy Red says she's at the doctor's office trying to figure out something. This chick is so nasty. This is what she posted? She's over there waiting at the doctor's office, waiting for them to tell her why her coochie stinks. This chick, I told you guys the other day about thoughts on that chick. Lord almighty. Thank you, Stace. Whenever there's another big update on this story, we'll probably, or maybe I'll clip this live stream and just post it at some point. Actually, there's a Kendrick thing I wanted to post. The Kendrick leaked video. I want to post that. Iceman, I think earlier you said that whole thing where the live stream was lagging behind. YouTube did something and they changed something. It kind of annoys me because I'm used to like you hit the live button and that's it. It's highlighted on live. Now you hit the live button and it takes you like 10 seconds behind or 15 seconds, whatever. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why. Tiffany, yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. All right, I'm going to head out for now, guys. Love you. Take care. Peace. Bye. Adios. Adios.